Good evening, YouTube family. Welcome to another Two Family Homestead live stream. Woo!
Well, it's Tuesday evening, and it's 8 o'clock, or thereabouts. Pretty close anyway. Got a couple people in here. Mama Z, Farmer Brad, Built on a Rock Homestead, Allie Oakley.
North and South Homes.
North and South Homestead. Hello, hello. Gosh, we got a lot more number-wise of people in here, but I'm not seeing names here. 2 Quacks and 5 Clucks is here tonight. Never Enough Time, Cajun Homesteader. Hello, hello to everybody. So tonight, got a special night, got a special guest. Pictured here on the screen with me is a young lady out of the Gettysburg, Pennsylvania area. Let me tell you a little bit about her. She's got a YouTube channel called Copper Kettle Farms. She just hit a milestone. What, 700? Is that right? 700 subscribers?
Yeah, now she's 700. Mm-hmm. Now she's over.
She's over 700. Uh-huh. And but her full-time work is a web mistress, I guess.
Yeah, web nerd, online marketing nerd, all the nerds.
All the nerds. So anyway, I'm going to put her on the screen, give her the mic, and she's going to share with you some fantastic freebie stuff about CANVA tonight. And then later on tonight, I got a couple other announcements for some stuff coming up here in the near future. So anyway, here is Crystal.
What's up, everybody? Always good to be on Two Families Live. If you're a subscriber to them, obviously we're all familiar with all the, I guess, archives of knowledge that they provide all of us in the community. So I always appreciate when they give me the opportunity to share my knowledge, support their channel, and of course support everybody here. So one of the things that we have talked about before is the ability to use Canva to make YouTube banner art, to make posts for your social media like Instagram and Facebook. And we've done thumbnails. But one of the requests we had recently was to design end screens. I'm not going to go through the technical aspect of the end screen portion, but as far as designing something in Canva for your end screen, I think we can do something very easily in Canva. Again, I only use the free version when I do this demo. There are a lot more perks when you have the paid version, which I do have, but I created a free account for these demos so that everything that you see here, you can do for free. So that's the extra bonus. I do see everybody in the chat. So if you guys have anything specific you want me to go over, definitely let me know. I know there was some discussion in the small YouTubers group about some graphic ideas, or someone needed help with something. So if you have anything specific you want me to go over, you have an hour of my time. Ask any question, ask for any demo, and we will go over that.
And everybody better ask a bunch of questions because we paid for this hour.
We did.
All right, so I have my screen up here. You can see these are some of the demos that we were playing with earlier. Oh yeah, we did a homesteading, or I guess not really homesteading, but a logo option as well. So we went over that, but again, we can go over all that kind of stuff if there's questions about it. But the main thing that I want to create today is an end screen. Now, Canva, you can log in with your Google account. That's what I've done here. And it starts out with the free version, gives you all kinds of options. But the one thing you look at is the create a design button, because when you click on that, that gives you all kinds of preset dimensions regarding whatever you're trying to make. If it's an Instagram post, it gives you the exact dimensions of an Instagram post. If it's a Facebook post, the same thing, Instagram story. And it has all these cool YouTube options. So you can make channel art, display ads, icons, thumbnails, even a couple themed items like food, YouTube thumbnails, beauty, channel art. What we're going to do is use the thumbnail dimensions because the end screens are pretty much the same dimensions as your thumbnail. So I'm just going to click that one. You can see it. It gives you the pixel dimensions here for that. And one thing I did to prep for tonight was I went ahead and uploaded, I just picked it was like a list of some of the best end screen arts for YouTube channels. And I just picked one. We're going to recreate this sort of in Canva for free. So this was one I picked up. This was a popular design. You can see when, actually, let me go ahead and delete it just to show you. So here's my blank canvas. I'm going to move my mug out of the way. And I had already uploaded the image here. So this is a list of all the items that I have uploaded. It could be images, files, or audio. You can upload all of that and have it in your Canva account to use later. So I clicked the one that I uploaded, and I'm going to move it up to the top corner because I basically want to stretch it so that it matches. You can see it pretty much perfectly matches the outline of the measurements for this end screen layout. What I'm going to do is I'm pretty much going to kind of make this transparent. There's an option up here that's called transparency. I want to be able to see it, but I basically want to just recreate the outline of all of these elements. I'm not going to have the exact same fonts, and we're going to do different colors and everything, but I want to show you that you can create this design in Canva. So I'm making it a little transparent so I can see it, but I want my design and my color scheme that we're going to create tonight to be visible. And I'm going to try to keep track of the chat while I'm doing this. So the elements for this particular end screen, you could have two different videos. It could be your most recent video. It could be, I think you can put playlists in here at the end screen of your videos. And then, of course, a subscribe icon or button. This one happens to be a nice circle. So we're going to go ahead and create the boxes and the circle, and then we're going to add the fonts and the arrows, and then maybe some of these little decorative elements around everything. So the first thing I'm going to do is under elements is where you have all your different shapes, and you have clip art, you have lines, you have all kinds of cool like animations you can add to things, and it's all free if it doesn't have what's called, it's like a little crown. I'm gonna see if I can find one. There's one. You see how this one has the little crown that says the pro version? So you can't use you can buy them like individually, but it would be cheaper just to have the pro account if you're going to use any of the pro items. But there are some that are free too, like this one. For this particular channel art, we're not going to really use anything graphical, I guess, except the arrows maybe. So it's not necessary to go through some of those. But the first element we're going to do is create this box here. I see Farmer Brad says he has used Canva for captions and titles on movies and iMovie. That is awesome. I like that so many more people are using Canva these days. So this box, I'm going to outline it a different color so it doesn't blend in so much. I might just pick a random blue for right now. So I inserted a box, and I'm going to drag its outlines until it pretty much is the same as the one from the picture that I'm trying to copy. Once I have one of my boxes in, I don't want to have to re-drag it and try to make sure it's the same height and same width as the other one. So it has the option for me to go up to the top right here and some of my tools and duplicate that element. So I'm just going to hit duplicate, and you see it pretty much has created the same box, same color, same dimensions. And I'm going to hold down my shift key and use my arrow keys to just kind of move it around until it gets over the next box. And that looks about right. So now I've got two parts. Actually, I might move it a little bit more. And they line up perfectly with each other, which is all I'm worried about. If it's not exact to what I'm trying to copy, I mean, as long as it's pretty similar, then it should be fine. The next shape I want to add, I'm going to go ahead and add this little circle here for the subscribe. Now it has all kinds of shapes, even weird shapes like hexagons and stars and hearts and like, I don't even know, these like stamp looking shapes and stuff. So you can play with it however you want, but we're just going simple. So I'm just going to click on the circle and it'll automatically add that element with the same color background as what I previously used. You don't have to use that color, but it's convenient that if you're just trying to come up with a theme for stuff. So I'm just going to drag this over the circle and we're just going to eyeball it for the most part. Once I get it set on one side, I can just drag it a little bit more from the corners and use my arrow keys. The arrow keys will let you move elements in more micro movements than with my mouse if your hand's not steady. Like sometimes mine's not. The Overwork Gardener, this is CANVA. It's CANVA.com. And we're using the freeware version. So everything we do here, people can do with the free version. There are a lot of really cool elements to the paid version, but for this purpose, we're just going to do the free version. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy, again, just to see the full color of the end screen we're copying. We're going to do the text now. So we're going to add a watch more and a subscribe text. So on my options here on the left, there is a text option. Now they do have some fun pre-made text styles you could certainly use. And I like some of the ones that they have available. So maybe if I want to use whatever this style is, I could try that.
Crystal?
Yes.
You have a gray screen that's kind of floating around. You move it around a little bit, but
yeah, it's my Zoom. I'm not sure where to put it so it's not in the way.
oh, okay.
Maybe if I drag it all the way down here.
Well, I think clear up in that corner where you're putting it there now. I think that puts it out of sight of the screen.
Yeah, I'll try to move it out of the way. Yeah, that's my Zoom, so it for some reason keeps getting in the way when I'm trying to do this. So, all right, so we added a pre-made text option. You can just add a plain text option as well, which I'm going to do one of each. So let me go ahead and delete this so I'm not getting ahead of everything. So I use this pre-made text option that says thank you, and the text is watch more. So I'm going to see what this looks like with watch. And then if you double click, it lets you edit basically here. And then I'm going to do more. And I actually kind of dig that little peach look that I got going on here. So I'm going to leave that the way it is. But for subscribe, I'm going to use a default text and then style it myself. So I'm using a pre-made text style, and I'm also going to use one that I edit myself for this purpose, just to show you the options. So you add a heading. This one I'm going to drag over here to where it says subscribe, double click inside. Now you can either use your mouse to drag from left to right to highlight the text that you want to edit or change, or if you're already inside and you see your little cursor here, you can hit Control A to select all. So either option, basically I just want to get rid of this text and replace it with the word subscribe. And then I'm going to drag it over so it's kind of aligned on top of this circle. If you can see when I'm dragging this over, there's a little pink line that shows up. And it's basically, Canva has this option where if you're trying to align elements with each other or with the document you're working in, it lets you know when you've hit the center of an element that's relative to where you're placing this piece. So for subscribe, it's saying right now it's centered over the circle because that's the only other element I've got close to this. So if I drag it, now it's centered over the circle, which is nice. If I were to take the whole item and go as far center and middle of this whole piece as possible, you can see now I have crosshairs, the top and bottom. That's the absolute center of this document. So it gives you the option to see where the center of the document is if you need it, or making sure your text is centered over an element you're trying to align with, which is nice. So now I have my subscribe text, and I want to style it a little bit because it's a little bland right now. So you have the option with some pre-made defaults fonts, and there's a lot to choose from. And there are some that are pro only. And again, that little crown icon is what determines whether it's pro version or free to use. You can upload your own fonts, but you can see that crown here at the bottom. It has, it's only available if you're on the pro version for that. But there's still a lot of fonts you can work with here. So for this one, I might try this Baskerville. Maybe I don't like that one so much. Maybe something a little curly, and I want it to be a little bigger. So you can up your font size too. You have the ability to change the color, the font size. You can bold it. You can make it all capital letters. We're going to see what it looks like at 72. And that looks pretty good. So now I have my subscribe. I've got my watch more. I've got my elements for where I'm going to place my end screen videos, my subscribe icon, whatever that happens to be. It could be my logo, it could be something else. But now I want to do some of the more decorative elements, like the arrows or maybe these little corner brackets. So under elements, this is where you get your clip art, again, for different things that you can add. It can be a clip art of an apple, or it can be arrows, or it can be borders. And I had pre-selected a couple. It has your recently used items. I had pre-selected a couple different elements that I looked up. Like I really liked this border. And you can see it's not the same direction as some of these, but they give you the option to flip. So if I were to flip this one horizontal, then I can shrink it down a little bit and have that be a replacement for this particular element. Maybe I want that one to be the same color blue. And because it's already a particular size, I don't want to have to try to recreate that size or that color. I can duplicate it. So now I've got two of them. And I think this one I have to flip twice. I have to flip it horizontal and then vertical so that it's now in this direction. So now I've got my two frames if I wanted them to be this particular style. Now, the way I looked those up is when I was under elements, which again is where all your clip art and shapes and styles are. I just did, what did I do? I think I did bracket, maybe. So there's a couple different brackets you can use. I think I might have done, what did I search for? Maybe I looked at lines. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of lines you can use if you'd rather just use lines that are free. But I mean, search for shapes and keywords for something that you're trying to add. Like if I wanted to add an apple to this, you know, there's a whole bunch of free apple icons. I could certainly, let me find a free one, like just this one if I wanted to. Maybe add something a little cute on the side here. You can see the crosshairs are showing up again. Now it's lining up with my text here, which is nice. Or if I wanted it to line up with this whole box of text, I can drag it down. I'm going to go ahead and delete that apple, but again, you can add clip art that's free easily through this. Let's see, so we got to add arrows now. And what I would do is under elements, just search for arrow and see what's free. There are a couple that are straight arrows. There are a couple that, I think I was using this one before, where it's like a swoop. I don't know what you call that, a swoop, maybe? So maybe I want an arrow above this video, and I want it to be, I don't know, maybe a lighter blue. No, not that. I'm trying to think of something that went with this blue. This blue is a little bold than what I'm used to. We'll do with like a quick orange. And I want to actually duplicate it because I want it to be the same size and the same color as my other arrow. So I'm just going to hit this duplicate button. But for this arrow, let me move it over here. I don't want it to be the same direction. So I'm going to go up to the flip option and flip it horizontal. And that'll switch it over, and that points to the other video. So now I've got some arrows there. Maybe I want to duplicate that arrow one more time and just drag it over here. Although that does look kind of funky that way. So maybe I'll use a different arrow there. Something a little more straight. Here we go. And you can rotate items as well. you have a little rotate button. It tells you what angle you're rotating at. So this one I'm going to kind of do like a 90-degree angle so it's pointing downwards. And obviously drag it to make it a little small. So now I got my arrow replacement. This text here, I think I might make that orange. I never did change the color for that one. And now I'm going to take the background that we were using to copy this with and get rid of it completely. And maybe, let's see, maybe I want to make the background black for now. We can certainly change it. But this is basically, if we were to go look at the end screen up here, let me show you the original. We have now created similar, not exact, but you can create very similar a end screen that we can now use in our videos. Again, you can change all the text, all the colors, everything. I might even change these borders so they stand out a little more to be the orange. I think would look better. Maybe this arrow would be orange or blue. But it's got all the same elements as that previous one. This is one that I found that was a recommended end screen layout, and we just kind of recreated it ourselves. So there's one way to do it.
Crystal.
Yes.
So go ahead and, if you would, take it just a step further. How would one use this in their creation?
So I could log into my YouTube and try it. I have not used end screens on Copper Kettle Farms yet. I just know that Mama Z's Texas Kitchen asked for this type of tutorial at one point. So we can certainly log in and try it out. But basically, for those that have made it, this is where you would place all your items. So let me go ahead and
you don't need to do that, Chris, because you need to put this in your video. It needs to be at the end of the video, and then they have their
Right.
templates which places the items on this. So this actually has to be part of your video.
right.
And that's where I wanted I was trying to direct you to do that, but you don't have to log into YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, so this will be at the end of your video, and it lets you choose, if you wanted to have your most recent video display in this block, you have that ability. If you want, I think you can do a playlist. Am I right, Daryl? You can put a playlist in here.
Yeah, the selection is not near as big as what it used to be.
Yeah.
But you can go in and they give you some pre-made choices that this matches. This matches one of those choices. So if you like that choice, and you can make this, then put this at the end of your video, have it there for the last 25, 30 seconds, and then that way when you fill in the end screen information, it just overlays that stuff right over top of this picture.
Yeah, and you can change all the elements of this to match whatever end screen layout you want to use. So
Right.
it's just understanding how to get to the elements like the boxes and editing the text and adding a place for the subscribe. So
Well, and getting them the right size.
yeah, that too.
Now
Which is one of the reasons, it pays to see what other people have done and then try to mimic it because they've already got it working. And you may like the layout, but maybe the colors are all wrong, or maybe you want to add your own custom element to it like this. It pays to see what other people are doing and then just try to mimic that.
But just to throw in, if you do use this type of thing, which is very neat on an individual basis, you want to be cautious because as you grow and get bigger, you'll run across tools that you can change your end screens across multiple videos. And if you don't, which would just totally make them not look right.
Right, exactly.
In other words, they're where they put the subscribe button, where they put this and that, all of a sudden it changes. If you change it across multiple videos and you don't remember every video, if you've got 30 videos you're changing all at once.
Yeah.
So you just need to be cautious.
Yeah, and it's, again, we're just trying to figure out ways to show how people can use free tools to do this kind of stuff. Because Canva is very user-friendly once you dive into it. You can't break anything with Canva. So even if, for example, if I like what I made here, but maybe I want to try something different just to test it out, but I'm worried about losing what I've already created. You can either duplicate this particular page. So now I've got 2 of them, and then change the elements of this one and compare and see which one you like. Or you can just make a copy of this particular design and you have 2 separate files to work in. So you're not going to break anything with Canva, and it gives you a lot of options to use for free. It's very user friendly, which is why I recommend it.
Okay, and I see that Along the River Homestead has, it's just got a stated question. Do you think end screens really work?
I remember when Justin Rhodes, when I first started watching him, I liked his end screens because, one, it gave me a glimpse of his family. He always had like that picture of him and his kids and everything. But then it was always a link back to the previous video of the day before. So maybe I had missed that video, or it was like a latest video that was going viral that he wanted to highlight. So to me, it was a little useful because I would just click on that and go to that video. But I would assume that people would click on those things. I know for, let's see, Doug and Stacy, they do a lot of end screen videos. They have a video where it's basically them saying, if you like, what you've watched, then, consider like and subscribe and check out this video. And then it's them pointing in the direction of where the video end screen would be.
Right. Exactly.
And you click on that.
And YouTube tracks that. So it works better for some people than others.
Yeah.
And nothing works right off the bat. It's gonna take you a while to see results. North and South Homestead, so I use iMovie on my iPad. So after uploading my video to iMovie, I would then add this to the end. Then when I upload the video to YouTube, then I add the other links in. That's correct.
And the goal of this is to try to get people to click these items. So
Sure.
It's important to, make stuff that stands out. Bright colors, arrows. Arrows help. It's weird to think about it, but yeah, arrows say, hey, there's an action item here. So click on this to go to this next video.
Along the River Homestead, yes, that's exactly what you've done. Is you've added this at the end of your video as a stationary photo, if you would, and it's 25 to 30 seconds, no more than 30 seconds at the end of your video.
Yeah.
And then you can, when you use the appropriate template that matches this pattern, it will insert 2 different videos and a subscribe button in these locations.
Yeah. And how do you add them in?
You do that after the video has been uploaded, processed, and all right. Let me just kind of go through how I do a video. I will create the video, and then I upload it. I do not recommend anybody take any of their editing programs and have that program upload the video. I create the video locally, and I have it completed. Sherry checks it. She makes sure that I spell things correctly. So once I get her approval, then I upload it to YouTube, but I upload it as an unlisted video. I do that for a couple reasons. Number one, as soon as you upload a video, the YouTube bots jump out and start scrubbing it and looking. And if you've put something maybe you didn't even think of, maybe it's got some sort of music in it or something that they're not liking, they're going to instantly demonetize it. It just gives you a chance to look and see what YouTube's going to do with the video. So at that time, you can then go in and you can add what they call cards. These are the things where you'll get the people in the middle of the video and they're pointing up to the corner. So you'll see it come up right here. You will go to the end of the video, add the end screens. And the selections are, you can pick a playlist, you can pick a video, you can say the video that's best for the user, you can have a link to your channel, you can have a link to somebody else's channel, depending on what type of video you get. But you do all that stuff, at the end. Of course, that's also the time when you do your keywords. So that way you're preparing the entire video. This is all before it's published. Nobody has seen the video. And you get it all set, and then you publish it. And you don't have to publish it. You don't have to be there to publish it. You can set a time for it to go to be published. Schedule it. So that's the way we do it. That's the way we recommend people do it. Yeah, Mama Z, I know you can't see me. I got Crystal on the screen, and I figure nobody wants to see my mug.
I don't think anybody wants to see mine either, so feel free to hop on. One thing I did want to mention is the point with a lot of the end screen stuff is all these platforms want people to stay on them. So they're going to reward people that make people stay on them. Facebook, LinkedIn, all of them are the same way in that if what you're putting out makes people click the next video, they're going to reward you with higher search engine optimization or higher optimization on that platform. LinkedIn is the same way. If you make people stay on their platform, they're going to reward you for that. For example, if you were to put a video on YouTube and then you went to LinkedIn and you linked to it, or you went to Facebook and you linked to that video, you actually get lesser engagement and lesser props through Facebook because you've put it on a third-party platform and then linked to them. So a lot of times people, what they're doing is they upload the video to YouTube, they upload the video to Facebook, and then they upload the video to LinkedIn. It's more work, but they're going to reward you because you're keeping people on their platform. So that's something I try to emphasize as well. Is we're here to learn about YouTube, yeah, but there's something to be said for, go ahead and upload the video to LinkedIn or go ahead and upload the video to Facebook, and you'll get a better engagement rate gradually as Facebook's like, yeah, this person's keeping people on our platform, so let's show their stuff to more people.
Unfortunately, YouTube's the one that pays.
Yeah.
So let me just share with the folks here. So I'm going to change the screen here. What you're looking at here, I'm in YouTube Studio. I'm on our channel. This is a recent video that Sherry did. Crockpot stuffed peppers. And of course, this is, you put the title in here. You always want to have your description in here, and you can put in extra verbiage and so forth. This is public. And if you notice right here is end screen and cards. Now, I don't think there's an end screen on this. So let's do this. Okay, so I say end screen. Now, over here on the left-hand side, you'll see different elements, different ways to put in end screens. I don't see the one you just did. But let's just say one video and one subscribe. So video, they're saying best for viewer and subscribe to Two Family Homestead. So if I just click OK here, over the last, I don't want it to start that soon. I want it to start maybe back here. So if I save this now, it will have in a video of YouTube's choice of mine that they deem is best for whoever is viewing this, and then the subscribe button is put in there. Now, this is a rough and dirty way to do this, but it works very well. And so we just click save here. And now, if everybody in here wants to go look at this video and watch it to the end, you'll see it now has end screens on it. Is that a quick way to get another extra 20 views on that video? Nobody's saying anything. Crystal's just looking. Crystal, are you still there? She's frozen. Is anybody hearing me? Because I can't see the chat. I lost her. All right. So let me do this. All right. So I'm back up here, and we have lost Crystal. She has been disconnected. So I'm gonna wait here for.
Her computer crashed.
Oh, is that what she says?
Yeah. Is that clickbait or what?
All right.
Turn up your hearing aid, Nathan.
They're not hearing me? They should
Yes,
hear
they
me.
are. Yes, they are. It's Nathan who said that.
Oh.
Consider the source.
Hey, I voted today. Got my sticker on. Somebody threw that on me here when we were leaving the.
Here. Better take it off, or I'll wash it. There she is.
All right, let's see. Working on it here.
Here we go.
Okay.
Terry has a question for you.
All right. I'm listening.
I said, Terry, you have to read it, Derek.
I have to read it. Well, I'm getting this set up so she'll be able to share her screen again. Daryl, I have a question about Filmora 10. With that, I've tried editing a video, and when I'm putting the words for titles and such, it doesn't show up. I guess I don't understand what you mean by it doesn't show up, but did you do this with Filmora 9 and didn't have any problem? And this suddenly happened with the upgrade to 10? Let me ask you that first. Okay. So I'm going to get Crystal back on the screen here, I think, if I can find this. There we go. Okay, good. I'm off the screen. Crystal's on the screen.
Yay.
Go ahead and talk. Let me see if I got your volume okay.
Hello, hello. I'm back.
Okay.
Vengeance.
Sit nice like there.
So while we're in here, though, I see Samson. Do you guys want to see anything else? Capabilities in Canva or something like another banner design? We do have the holidays coming up. A lot of people like to create holiday themed banners for their channel. I can certainly go through that particular questions.
You heard that noise?
I know we've done, I think we did a logo at one point in time. So we have all the options we can try out for sure. I can't tell if Nathan's trolling. I feel like Nathan's always trolling though.
Yes.
Like he's one of those people, he would be in a room with you and he'd be like, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?"
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Musical break now. No. We save that for Sunday nights. Now, has anybody that's in the chat already tried Canva? I know Mama Z uses it a lot. I use it all the time. Daryl, do you actually use Canva at all?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
No? Okay.
No. No, I use, depending upon what the goal is. If I'd like to make thumbnails or something, I either use paint.net, GIMP, Affinity Photo, Affinity Designer.
Okay. Sunny's Place, hello. Sunny's Place is another one that does all her own graphics, and she's pretty brilliant with her designs. I'm trying to think of what else YouTubers use often. We could certainly try the banner options again. Actually, I don't know that we've done banners. We did logos, we did thumbnails, we did social media, and we did the end screens, but I don't think we did banners, so we could certainly try that.
Okay, let's talk about banners. And if you want to start sharing the screen or whatever, I can maybe get them started. So let me
Sure.
just explain to you the importance of a banner. Number one, that's on your homepage of your channel. It's of course right at the top, and that's your chance to make a stance to people. Tell people about your channel. If you just have a picture of some eggs frying in a pan or something, that doesn't tell them anything about your channel. It's a location where you can selectively give a potential subscriber information about your channel. Like you could have on it, I upload videos twice a week. My videos are about whatever your channel subject matter is. If you have a homesteading channel, homestead in Maine, homesteading in Maine, or homesteading in Canada, or whatever your area of the country is, and of course a picture appropriate to that. Now the one thing about a banner, and Crystal's I'm sure going to cover this, is when you create a banner, it's huge. It is a huge picture, but only a part of it gets seen on the typical PC, and even a smaller part of it gets seen on a handheld device like a phone. So there is a template out there that shows here's the safe area for a phone, here's the area that's potentially used on a PC, and when you make it full size, that's what people see on a television set. So Crystal, go ahead and
So yeah, I'm looking up the quick, they have graphics out there. If you do a quick search, it helps you kind of figure out your dimensions. So I'm just going to copy one real quick and kind of go through the same steps we went through with the end screen, in that you have a template that you're working off of, but it gives you, let's see here, the actual measurement, so you know what you're working with. Here's a perfect one. So let me copy this in here, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So this is our current banner art, and realistically it's way bigger than this, but it's because YouTube, like right now I have YouTube up on my TV, and this kind of outlines real quick what I'm talking about. So the part that you're seeing when you go to my channel is only this white box here. Everything else, it gets cut off if you're in a browser. However, it's used for other things. Tablets might see a little bit more. Mobile is the one I always design for because that's the smallest device. But you also, if someone's looking at it on their television like I do, I always watch everybody's channels that I subscribe to on my television. So I'm going to see the whole big box. So you want all of it to be, somewhat pretty, but obviously the main area to focus on is this little white box in the middle here.
Ideally, what you want to be able to do is to create a picture that degrades well as it becomes compacted. Because
Right.
YouTube takes this big picture and they cut it up into 3 different slices.
Exactly. But because I'm designed, like I might do, let's just say, if I wanted to do, I like wood in the background, like wood templates. So I'm going to do a search for under photos, again, free photos that are available on Canva, and do a search for wood. Maybe find like a nice dark wood background that I want to be, maybe not that one. That one's not free. Something like this. So this would be the start of my template. That's the whole area that would be seen on the television. So it's still, pleasing to the eye, and it doesn't have anything that's weird that's cut off or anything. But this is the base of where I'm starting. I'm going to go ahead and copy this and bring it over here because I want to see see, it's in my uploads here. What I'm starting with first, I'm gonna make it a little transparent because, oh, it's because I got multiple ones on here. There we go. So I can see my outline still, and then we'll put that wood banner back in to finish it all off. Problem is, because I'm on a laptop screen, I mean, if you have a bigger monitor, maybe it's not such a big idea. It's a little small to see that area, so I'm going to maybe like go to 50% just so I can see this a little better. You can zoom back out later, but you do have the option to zoom as far in as you need to see what you're doing. But obviously you want like a logo. If you have a channel logo in there, that's one big way for brand recognition, to have your logo within the viewable part. I don't have my logo uploaded, but you know what? We're just going to have fun with this suffrage celebration logo and pretend that it's mine, even though it's not. So we would have our logo in here somewhere. And then we're going to add some text to highlight our channel name. We could use the default text options they have available that already have styles on them. Maybe you want a Halloween banner, so you have some Halloween themed text, but I think I'm just going to go with a standard text heading and make it a little smaller. Let's say this is Crystal Grove's channel. We're going to drag it down until I see that horizontal line, which means it's aligned to the very, very middle of my template here. Maybe I want to change the font to something a little bit, something like that. I know a lot of things people like to add in their YouTube channel is kind of highlighting when they're live, or I know I did a bunch of banners for Samson Farm, so he's familiar with it. Like we go live every Sunday at 9 p.m. or we put out videos Tuesdays and Thursdays or whatever. So a lot of people will have that text in their banner. So live Sunday 9 p.m. weekly videos. We'll just do that. I might make this a little bit smaller. And some people like to add like play buttons. I did that for Samson Farms as well. I did that for my own channel. So under elements, I'm going to look for the word play to see what kind of art they have available that's free that maybe I can stick in here. And
Crystal, with the free version, can you upload pictures?
Yes. Yeah. These items under my upload are ones that I've uploaded, like the picture of Donald with one of our thumbnails,
Okay.
the sample end screen, and then these are all ones I've uploaded. You can also upload video and audio. So
Okay.
if you needed to have your own custom audio for something, you can upload that here.
Yeah, I knew you could do that on the Pro. I just didn't know about the free.
Yeah. So now I got this little industrialized play button here. I'm gonna make it a little small. And I want to line that up. Let me shrink this a little bit so that it's not overlapping as much. I want to line that up with my thing here. I don't really want it to be the pink though. Another cool thing about Canva though is if you do upload a logo, it pulls for most of them. I have had logos that didn't do this for, and I'm not sure why, but it pulls the colors from that logo so you don't have to try to match that same blue that's in this logo or that same red. So I can go in here and make this the blue, and it'll be the same blue from my logo. So that's convenient too. It automatically pulls those colors from your logo, which is convenient. Maybe I want my text here to be the red from that logo. And we've got if I'm going to do the dark wood, I'm probably going to want this to not be black. I'm going to want this to be white on top of here. And I'm going to zoom back out. Oops, not in, back out to, let's say 25%, maybe a little bit more. We'll do the fit. So I've got everything kind of on here that I want, but now I got to put in my cool wood background here and get rid of the transparency on it. Now see, the red doesn't look good on the darkness either, so I'm going to change that to white as well. And then this is what is going to show on the television, this whole thing. So it still doesn't look bad. It's still centered. It's still, what people would need to see. You could certainly add additional elements that wouldn't show on a mobile phone. Like if you are, like for me and where I live in Gettysburg, we're considered like apple country. So I keep going back to the apples, but you could certainly add in like some kind of apple graphic in here that it may not show on your banner elsewhere, but maybe, you want it to show when people are on their television. So you have that option.
It's a secret a secret item that only television watchers get.
Yeah, like a little Easter egg or something like that. So at this point, I'm done with what I want to do. I still feel like it's not necessarily centered the way I would want it to be. So I'm going to adjust, here, I'll actually adjust the logo part instead. So I'll move this up a little bit. There we go. Maybe a little bit more. And I'm going to go ahead and download it. Now to download your graphics, I guess I can't use that apple. That's not a free apple. I need to find me a free apple real quick. If I can, if there is a free apple. There's free apple images, but not one that's just the apple without a background. So.
Well, the reason I ask about uploading is there are a lot of sites, Unsplash, Pixabay, Pexels that are image heavy that are free, whatever you get on there. So you to get a free apple is easy to do.
That's true. Yeah, so you can do that. I never have this issue with the pro version, so it kind of like I didn't prepare any free apples ahead of time because I didn't think that they would all be paid.
You didn't know you were serving apples tonight.
I did not know that. So we're going to go ahead and download. Once you finish your graphic, you basically go up to the download portion, and it does give you different options to download. If you were making a video intro or something, you could certainly download multiple screens into a video, but I'm just going to download it as a ping. And I'm only going to do the second page. I don't need that first page that I was using for outlines. And then it will download to your computer, and it usually goes to your download folder by default. And then you can use it to upload to your channel art. So I'm actually going to upload it real quick. Let me get rid of the pop-up there. This is just an old account that I have. I don't do anything with this. I think I have like some likes or something, but I've never put up a banner on this channel. So we are going to go to, let's see. I forgot all the stuff that I had on here. So we're going to go to our, where would I need to go? Settings. Is it settings?
No, just go to your main page. You don't need to be in studio.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go. All right, because it's at the. Where is it at? Shoot, I'm not even remembering at this point. I thought it was under customize, but there, branding. So yeah, it's under customize and then branding. So I'm going to go ahead and upload it just to show you guys kind of what it looked like. Adding one that's 6 megabytes or smaller. So here's one issue that you might run across is if it's too big. Apparently this image is too big. So one thing you could do is try downloading it as a JPEG because it's smaller. So I'm going to try that instead. And we'll see if that makes a difference. The quality is not that much. It's not really as different to the naked eye, a JPEG versus a PNG. But if you're into art at all, then you can usually tell the difference. So we're going to try this as a JPEG. There we go. So here it highlights what is viewable on all devices, that little inner white square that we put all of our content in, and then what's viewable on the TV. I like that they did this. They used to do it before, but it wasn't as clear. So
yeah, it's a lot clearer now.
It's a lot clearer now. And then I can publish and go to my channel. And there we go. So it really zooms down to that one little section in the center of everything. But if someone is looking at this on their television, they see that whole wide image. So it's kind of weird when people look at it in the CANVA, they're like, well, I want to make it as big as the whole banner availability is. but you're not going to be able to see that on most devices. So it's always, follow a template. YouTube provides this type of template to see where the safe area is, and then just, make as much of it pretty as you can, but really focus on that small inner part. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
I like that.
Awesome. Do we have any questions about banner art? I do like doing seasonal stuff. So sometimes I'll go into the photos in Canva and I'll just kind of look at Christmas stuff.
But you can't make a Hanukkah one.
Yeah, our Hanukkah stuff. Like here's one that's free and it's got wood in it and it's got presents. Now these presents aren't going to show except maybe this little bit here. One thing I sometimes do to get by that is I'll double click on the image and drag it a little bit more so that the viewable part is a little bit bigger. I've done that before. You can drag it up like this maybe so you can see more of that present. So you can drag and make images a little bigger so that the viewable part that you want available on all devices is right there. Here's another one. You could probably see some of these presents, but not all of them. But it would look good on a TV.
Yeah, you'd see that well on a television, and of course, on a large PC with a big screen, you could potentially see all the way to the edge on both sides, but just that 423 pixels high.
Yeah, like I really dig this. The logo is kind of drowned out by all of the little cranberry things, but you could always take and either make everything a little bit smaller if you wanted to.
Well, reverse that so that the berries are on the left side.
Let's see if it lets me. Here we go. So there you go. Do it that way. So let's download that one and see what that one looks like as a JPEG so it's smaller. And then you can do your own holiday theme stuff. All right. And again, I don't know if you guys saw that pop-up screen. You can try Canva free for 30 days if you've never tried it before. So, you get all the bells and whistles for 30 days if you wanted to do it that way. So here we go. There's my viewable portion. But on TV, it still looks pretty swank. Like if you have a holiday party, you could even put a video in the background. And, well, I don't think video would show on the banner, but you could put things up and have it on your screen while you have family over for a party or something. So let's go to our channel. There we go. So we got some holiday stuff going on here. Everything's viewable.
And I see some of our mods are putting out some information on your businesses there, Crystal. So we're gonna.
Rustic Traditions has a question.
Does it help the algorithm if the banner is updated often? Who knows?
With YouTube?
Who knows?
It's a crapshoot.
We are. Our channel we're having an ongoing fight here with YouTube that of course, YouTube never responds to me. But when this live stream was created tonight, of course, we had our monetization turned on, and you can see people can super chat us and people can join our channel and do all those things. But less than 30 minutes into this live stream, they had already demonetized it, which doesn't affect super chats or
Don't get him anyway.
or things like that. But I have to go in when this is done. I have to go in and I have to say, please manually review this video because there's nothing wrong with it. So, but that's just YouTube. Yeah, the algorithms. If anybody knows, YouTube would change it. So any City Girl Country Heart is asking you, Crystal, if they have any pictures of lightning. Crystal, you still there?
But she locked up again.
Can you hear me?
There
Yes,
she is.
yes, there she is.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
City Girl Country Heart is asking if they have pictures of lightning.
Yes. They have lightning. They have, and again, you have to look for the free ones. Like this one's free, so you could certainly put that as a background.
Cool.
Even your major cities they'll have, like Atlanta. They didn't have any that were free for Gettysburg, but you could certainly look and find your own or take your own and upload it. But if you have something geographical you want to highlight, there might be some free photography that you can use there, or any of the free photo sites like Pixelbee and stuff like that. You can find photos. Or if you are known for bears, like Big Bear Homestead, you could put bears. Who doesn't like bears? Or Mama Z's in Texas. Let's
Now,
see if they got like
with the bears up there that you have,
mm-hmm.
that looks very good for a TV set. I
right.
don't think that would look very good for looking at it either on a phone or on a desktop.
Yeah, and we could certainly play with it just to see, if we need to drag it so at least one bear head is in the picture or something, or let me think how this would look. Maybe like that. A bear head would be part of it. But yeah, you could, there's certain elements you could just add to it, like the Texas flag. You won't see the whole flag, but for the most part, people are going to understand that's the Texas flag in the background. And that actually looks like fabric. That's kind of cool. What size is needed for all devices? So YouTube has the sizes automated, but I like having this template in here to show you what the viewable area is for all devices. So for what you see on all devices is this white box in the middle here. That's why all of our text and stuff is only in the center and not all over the place. Let me change this to something like this. Here we go. But you want to make sure that you have stuff in the other viewable areas as well for people that do watch on TV like I do.
Now that template is free. If you just Google YouTube banner template,
Yeah.
you'll be able to grab that template absolutely free and use it in any editing program that you want.
Yeah. Like I have it uploaded to my CANVA, so I can simply just drag it in here if I wanted and then get a feel for, where my viewable area is here. So I have everything in that little white box. And then if I just want to get rid of that background and put something fancy behind there, I certainly can. Mama Z's geeking out about the Texas stuff. More Texas. I wonder if they have different state flag. The Pennsylvania state flag's kind of ugly, but maybe Maryland. If you have like a locale pride thing. Oh, no flag for Maryland. You could certainly put your state flag in there. What about cooking canning channel? Yeah, they have food. I'm trying to think of what you would put. You could certainly put do a search for the word dinner, maybe. Well, I'm under templates. I want to be under photos. So dinner. Oh, here you go. You could do some kind of plate option and maybe make it a little bigger so that part of the plate shows behind your text. And it still might look a little funky without the fork and the knife in there. I would say you could also do images that are pretty busy. Maybe not that one. Maybe like this one. It's going to be a little busy, but if you do like a transparency behind it, or actually alternatively, what I like better is if you add kind of a bar behind it. And I think this is what I did for Samson Farm. So if I were to go under elements and you have your shapes here, I would take the square shape and drag it from the left and the right so that it's full length of this image. Maybe I don't want it to be as tall. Maybe to here. And let's make it black. And then I see that my logo is not showing because this is layered on top of it. So I'm going to say the position lets you determine what layer this element is located. So I want it to go back a little bit to the back. Now I can see all of my items at the top here. Actually, black might not be good because of the logo. So we'll change it to white real quick. And change my text to the darker red and this one to the blue real quick. But then take that box that you've placed in here, maybe do like a little bit of a transparency. It doesn't have to be big. It certainly could be, but a little bit of transparency. You can still see the food behind it, but then the text is a little bit more readable. And even if you only see this part for your banner, it's still going to see the food, which is the important part. But on the TV, you're going to see this whole thing, so it still looks clean. You could use the snipping tool to save the pic you make on Canva.
That's a screen capture tool is what she's talking about.
Okay, I was wondering, I was trying snipping tool. But yeah, you can add your own photography here too. If you have a particular photo that you like that you've taken for whatever your channel is about. Like I might eventually add my goats to it, but I don't have a good picture of them currently.
City Girl, you can do that, but that when you use a snipping tool like that, you're doing a screen grab or a screen capture that has obviously degraded the photo because depending upon one's monitor and resolution and everything else, it's never as good as the actual photograph. So if you can download the original photograph, you're better off to do that. Sometimes you can't, and of course, depending upon your use, maybe you don't need it so good, so it's perfectly acceptable.
I'm going to change this to the food one we just did, just to see what it looks like for people. You can see what the viewable area is, how it looks on desktop. So we still get the range of the food for the cooking channel, but we don't have, like it's not too busy that we don't see the text. If we didn't have that transparency behind here, I think it would be a lot harder to read all of this because it's just too busy.
Oh yeah,
so that's why I like to mute those.
It's very nice. Okay.
Rustic Tradition says she could spend hours playing with this app. Yeah, I do too. I'm on it every day pretty much for different things. So, and again, if you guys have questions about stuff, I know we have a limited time frame for, doing this in one night. Feel free to send me questions about Canva. I'm happy to answer them.
Well, I see Sydney walked in the room here. Or Tori.
That's Sydney, probably. Late again, as usual.
Sydney, you're late.
They would like all the Texas images we were going through earlier.
Okay, anybody got any last questions here? Because we've kind of used up our hour, and she's going to start charging me overtime here.
That's how I make the big bucks. Yeah, it is a very easy program to use it, and I'm certain, I have not watched any, but I'm certain there are YouTube videos out there that explain different elements of Canva. We've gone over some of them here on Two Family. We've talked about some of the new effects that they have for text and things like that. If you do need to add drop shadow, like there's way more versatility than we've covered here. So it's just as much as we've been able to cover in the last hour or so.
I could have her on every Tuesday for 2 months and she wouldn't be done.
Yeah.
So. Okay. Crystal, anything else from you?
I think I'm good for now. I think we'll probably do another Canva one later on if you guys want to. Once someone has a question about how to do something, I'm all about it. So maybe we could use or do a session where we go over the video tools. Would be nice.
Next month.
I'm sorry, what?
Next month.
Next month?
Have her
Yeah,
on
next
monthly.
month we'll do November
Yeah.
video tools.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can certainly do that. Absolutely. Love to have you back.
Sounds good.
So,
Terry has a question for you.
how long after the live stream yours done? I can tell you that the stream is ready before the chat is. And it seems to vary, just depending upon the women YouTube or how busy they are. I'm going to say probably for an hour video, an hour and a half to 2 hours afterwards, it should be totally ready. But you can often view the video without the chat much quicker. Okay, any other questions? Can't think of anything. Crystal, thanks so much. We'll plan on doing it again next month,
Sounds good.
and we'll just go from there.
Awesome.
Everybody,
thank you guys so much.
Thank you for being here tonight. Thursday, we'll do our little review thing where we look at your channels and go from there. So everybody have a wonderful week. Take care, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.